Tiare and Kelly, I want to ask you about playing here at home in the postseason. Y'all have talked about not maybe being at your peak here to this point. What do you feel like gives you a chance to do that in the postseason?
I think just super excited, getting more comfortable at Love's Field, really making it our home. And I think the more we practice on it, the more we figure it out. Just like the last game in Bedlam, like we were kind of just getting the feel for Love's and just embracing our crowd. The crowd was amazing that weekend, so really just getting them involved and just having fun with it. I mean, it's our last go around, so definitely just having fun out there, but it's definitely getting super exciting and just really comfortable playing here.
I would definitely say the same, like getting the crowd involved, using them to our advantage, keeping them in the game, and just playing in front of them in the greatest stadium.
Appreciate it.
Ryan Chapman.
For both have a ton of experience starting at this stage and building momentum throughout the post. What does it take to carry that momentum like weekend to weekend?
I think you just got to take it one game at a time, not look too far ahead. You know, you got to play every game like it could be your last.
Yeah, and I think just not overlooking teams. I mean, this is postseason, so everyone's going to be good. Everyone's going to bring their A game. So just, again, taking it one game at a time, but just not looking over any opponent that we're going to face.
Mason.
Coach talked about after the Bedlam series, winning that last game kind of felt like a burden off y'all's shoulders. Are y'all just like even lighter and freer now at this point, having made the run through the Big 12 tournament that you did?
Yeah, I think the Big 12 just allowed us, again, like we keep saying it, but just playing free. And I think you can actually see that when we're playing now. Before, you can just see a little bit just more tense situations, just not being us. But Big 12 tournament really felt really good, just all the way around. But even just the locker room and everything, just so much more light and fun being around everybody, but it's definitely a good turnaround.
I mean, I think Coach talks about how there's 3 chapters to each season. You have the preseason, the conference, and postseason, and I think we all just have a new start. So we're back on page 1.
James.
You know, as far as I know, you guys don't know anything about these 3 teams. And so you're a great hitter, you're a great pitcher, but, you know, you guys probably look at it differently. But how much fun has it been trying to scout 3 new teams?
Yeah, I think it's really fun. You know, postseason, you don't really know who you're going to get and who you're going to face. But I think it's just, for us, fun having our last postseason. But again, scouting new teams. Not playing everybody the same. I've never played Oregon before or Cleveland State, any of these teams for my career. So I think it's actually going to be really fun going in, just seeing new teams coming in a postseason.
I would say it's a little harder on the pitching side because you have a lot more hitters you got to go through, but just really trusting in Coach Rocha and our staff, and they're going to get us prepared, and we'll be ready.
Have you played any of these teams?
Yes, I played Oregon in Supers last year at Oklahoma State, and I played them in Mexico also last year, the very first game of the season. I want to say Boston came to us in a regional once before too.
Colton.
Tiare, you mentioned kind of the struggles up here at home. What has been the contributing factor to that, whether it be the noise or Coach Gasso's talked about just this escape or the scope of playing here?
I think maybe like pressure on ourselves that doesn't need to be, making it bigger than it is. And as much as Love's is super great, I think sometimes we feel like we don't really get to play here a lot. So I think just getting out of our comfort zone and just playing free and letting loose. But I think really what helped us was really engaging the crowd. I mean, even Big 12 tournament, like the Sooner Nation just came out, and I think like how much they've had an impact on us playing is huge. But really just getting them involved, they've just kind of been on our side, and I think it just lifts the burden off of us.
Ryan Chapman.
Kelly, for the offense, they've talked about Patty calling some like hit and run, stuff like that to simplify things, get it back to basics. So like a pitching version of that Coach Rocha can call for you guys when things are getting hectic to settle you back down and get you off and running again?
No, I mean, I think just getting ahead early in the count so that you have count leverage and that you can play around more with pitches out of the zone and things like that.
James.
You both are kind of seasoned in this type of environment or regional and things like that. What are you kind of doing to ask your freshmen and help them out and figure out how Kelly Maxwell and not Kelly Maxwell, Cassidy Pickering and Ella Parker, are you teaching them anything at all about this environment, this game?
I think for them, I mean, they're killing it. So I think there's kind of just telling them, like, if it's just a game. There's not really, you don't need to make it bigger than it is. Just be you. They're doing fantastic already. So I think just if I keep being on them all the time, I think that's when they're going to start maybe getting a little bit more pressure. So I'm kind of just letting them be. They're doing a good job. And if they need it, I'll be right there like, hey, I got your back. We're right behind you. We'll get you the next time.
Do you all remember your first regional and how you felt at that time?
That was a long time ago. Yeah,
I don't remember actually. I don't remember.
My first regional, I think I just always bring up Jossie just because she's been my mentor since even before I got here, but just having her in my ear, again, same thing. She wasn't really on me, but she just let me be me. But knowing that she was right behind me in the on-deck circle, just yelling at me like, I've got your back. So just really learning from her and just having this postseason run that we've had in our freshman and sophomore year has just been super fun. And I think just learning from Jossie has definitely made me in that position where I can teach the freshmen here.
Ryan Aber?
Yeah, Tiare, I just want to ask you how you're feeling at the plate, after the Big 12 tournament and, maybe starting to head a little bit in the right direction.
Yeah, definitely. I feel confident. I'm ready. We've prepared a lot this week. Kind of just taking it all in. Not every day is guaranteed at this point, so I'm really just going to try and contribute any way I can. If that's not happening offensively, I'm going to do everything I can defensively to help these pitchers out. So any way I can, I'm not going to add any more pressure. I'm not going to take another moment of take it for granted. So I'm definitely just going to have fun and play free and just contribute any way I can.
What's the balance like with that, with it being your last one and, some of the pressure that can come with that, but also trying not to let that moment be too big?
Yeah, I think just learning how to do both. I think this year I definitely put maybe a little bit too much pressure on myself, but I think it was good for me because I've never felt that before. So I think learning how to get out of that, I think, was probably one of the biggest things, most positive things I could have learned, because now going to postseason, if that happens again, I can just quickly get myself out of that automatically. So I think that moment, those couple weeks I have felt like that, just learning from that moment and learning that it's not all about me and it's not all about, like, I'm not going to do anything to help this team win or lose, but I can definitely contribute to the success that we're going to have.
Jim Sale?
Kelly, I'm curious. I mean, I've read before about how hard you work and some of the things you do to get ready. But can you kind of give us an idea? Does postseason change anything as you prepare throughout the week to get ready for the weekend?
No, I mean, everything stays the same. I think we work really hard in film and preparing for hitters and being able to use that knowledge and take it to the bullpen and kind of establish some different hitters and different swing patterns and just really work in that aspect in the bullpen. And then we get to throw live to these hitters, and of course they're tough. So just work in and day out.
Thanks.
Daniel?
Tiare, obviously Ella being named most outstanding player of the Big 12 tournament last weekend. What did you see from her that weekend, and what stuck out from you to her this year?
Yeah, I think she's just on fire. She's super aggressive. I mean, there's not really a pitch that can beat her, and I think she's just so strong. She can get away with anything when she's hitting, but just the energy and presence she shows every single day on the field. Like, she just shows so much joy. We call her our sweet baby Ella because she's just so sweet. She's so happy, so joyful all the time, and I think she just brings that joy to me when I'm not feeling super happy in that moment. I just look at Ella. She kind of just gives me a little smile, and we're back in it. So not only just her physical abilities on the field, but just the way she carries herself, and you wouldn't even know that she's a freshman.
All right. Thanks, everybody.
Thanks.
Thank you.